Okay. Ha! We're back. Guys, please let me know if you can hear me in the comments or if you can't hear me so that I can tell you, I can see exactly what's happening. Guys, we are back. We are back. Wa bona re streama jwang? Wa bona re streama jwang? Ha se re lokisitse di-laptop man. I just want to make sure. Yeah, wena. I just want to make sure of one thing. Virus. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name, of course, is Joseph Mokwena. I'm your host, and this, of course, is the Overthinking Football Show. Special presentation. It is a watch-along of BANYANA BANYANA, who are taking on Ghana at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco 2024. Labona? Eh? Not behind the desk. I don't need to be behind the desk anymore because Kibo, the laptop, man. Okay, welcome everybody. So, BANYANA BANYANA, of course, wow. Hey, son. BANYANA BANYANA, of course, are the reigning champions of this WAFCON tournament. The reigning champions. Not just any other team that's visiting. And they start off their game time in this tournament versus a Ghana team. Now, I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, welcome everybody. Welcome. Tseko, welcome. Wutlali, how are you doing? Hi, man. Rijachoy, boss. Rijachoy, khumnate, man. I hope you guys can hear me. Please tell me if you can hear me properly. Okay, so BANYANA BANYANA, of course, comes into this game ranked 54th in the world, but then number 2 in Africa versus a Ghana team that's number 66 in the world and number 6 in Africa. Then, of course, in the last 5 games, it's just W's for BANYANA BANYANA. W, win. Last game out was a 2-0 win versus Zambia. Before that, we beat Botswana 3-2. Before that, we beat Malawi 2-1. Before that, we beat Malawi 3-0. And then before that, we beat Lesotho 2-0. So we are the form team, whereas Ghana has 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw to their name. The last game that they played was against the number 1 team in Africa, in Nigeria. Mahlaule, welcome. Hello, Z. The last 5 games that these two have played against each other is very interesting because in this fixture, BANYANA BANYANA doesn't have a win versus Ghana in the last 5 games that we've played against them. The last game out was a 1-0 win to Ghana in 2018. So already you can tell that it was a different BANYANA BANYANA to the one that they're playing now. But as it stands in the last 5 games, the 2 teams have played 2 draws and Ghana has won 3 of those games. Now, yes, the game is on. The game is on Supersport 202. That's where I'm watching it. And then, of course, you can also watch it on SABC 3, which then means also that you can watch it on the DSTV stream app. You can watch it on SABC Plus. You can watch it for free on the SABC Facebook page, as well as sabcsport.com, where you can watch it for free. They don't pay me. I don't know why I keep saying these things. Last team we lost to in the group stage. Pressure is on. Well, to be fair, in these competitions, Desiree Ellis is unbeaten in open play. So I'm not too worried about the group stages, but the starting lineup for BANYANA BANYANA has Andile Dlamini in goal. A lot of people have complained about Dlamini versus Swart. You have the other Dlamini Karabo coming in. You have Makubela. You have Jules, who was injured for the longest time. Bambanani Mbane, who was injured for a very long time. We had been crying for her. She is back into the starting lineup. And then, of course, we've got Fikile Makama as the back 4. A great change is that Rifilwe Jane, my captain, is back in the team. Now, this is a player that a lot of us have been speaking about, especially during tournaments of past. Now, her replacement at the time, Ubiela, is actually one of the analysts on Supersport. She had come in, so Ubiela in the midfield was a very heavy tackler, a red card waiting to happen, we used to say about her. A very physical player, right? Whereas Rifilwe has a bit of control. And what you'd hope is that with Rifilwe back in the team, you can move Abolinda further up the pitch. You can move Abolinda into more attacking places because Abolinda were the ones who were coming back to come and defend, to play defensive mid a lot of the time when they weren't there. Then, of course, you have Amohela Mutau in, you have Linda Mutlalo, number 10 wetu. You have Nonkolo Sesane, you have Ramalepen, you have Sioposenwe as the starting lineup. Now, what's going to be very interesting this tournament is going to be what's going to happen when we don't have our star player. Our star player, Thembi Kgatlana, is not with this team. And as you know, a lot of the time, we used to play a back four, a front five, and Thembi. So Thembi used to be the one that would take the ball from the halfway line, go and dribble it all the way up and score the goals, almost one man, one of the most dangerous, one of the most fastest players that we have. So she's not here, but also, breadwinner, use benchini, guys. Breadwinner sitting on the bench, Hilda Machaya. I've always said that Hilda is the most, the Sekhua's escaping me, but she's the best finisher that we have in South African football. And I'm not joking when I say that if you need a goal and you need proper placement and you need somebody who can finish, it's Hilda all day. I'd pick her over all of the strikers in the PSL, to be honest with you. But she usually is the supporting role to Kgatlana, and they play off of each other. Now she's on the bench. Jermaine is having an incredible time in Mexico. She's one of the big players that side, but she tends to be up and down when she plays for Banyana Banyana, which is part of some of the issues when it comes to having her here. You don't know which Jermaine, we don't know which Jermaine is going to pitch. You don't know if it's going to be the Jermaine that's going to finish off the chances and be a threat, usually off the right-hand side. But then you also don't know if it just might be a pop game for her. You just never know. Marazi, I said hello, Z. Up front, I trust your Posenwe. Strange to see Breadwin on the bench, says Bongs. Lebs at the back, I know she'll do the job. Not over Sio Posenwe. Tabiso. Hi, Tabiso. Nyalwa. Hilda. Guys, who won us the WAFCON last time? Who won us the WAFCON? Who scored in the semis? Who scored in the quarters, I think? I believe she scored in the final too. Hilda. Guys. Deban Nazigi. Hello, how are you? Unfortunately, just to deal with this, guys, I don't own rights to this. This is way too expensive. If you want to watch for free, and you can watch me here on TikTok, you can actually watch on SABC Sports Facebook page for free. You can watch on SABC Plus. You can watch on sabcsports.com if you want to, because they own the rights and they're showing those things for free. So if you want to stream it, you can head on over there. This is what is called a watch along, where I get to watch the game with you guys. And remember, at halftime, I'm going to let 5 people in, and we're going to have a discussion about what we're seeing here. And then if we can reach 25,000 likes, then I will open up multi-guest and I will keep it open, and everybody can jump in and give me a minute or two of what they are thinking of the game. We're currently 7 minutes into the game. It is still 0-0 right now. She's good as a support striker only, says Mahlaula. Guys. MJ, I'm back. Roy Lippe Hilda. Man, Hilda si Roy Lips, man. Roy Lips is writing. What's her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Mr. OT, so this season you're supposed... No. Z, I'm not going to switch, Z. I'm not going to switch. You created those chances. Place your person in a similar position and should do the job. Maratabiso, here's my thing. You can say who created, you can say hypothetically, you can say all of that stuff. All I'm saying is that she finished those chances. Whether you believe that or not, Hilda's one of our best scorers next to Thembi. Unfortunately, Uchamain is an incredible wing player, incredible support player, but she usually doesn't finish the chances. So it's not that Jermaine is a bad player, it's not that she's maybe not a finisher, but when you look at Banyana Banyana, Hilda, in terms of chances to finishing ratio and the number of chances she scored, she's up there. She's probably higher than Thembi. Thembi just needs more chances to score the goals. Thembi tends to be a little bit selfish at times. She scores more of them, but it's usually not like that. Which one, agent? No, the green screen. It wasn't a green screen, it was my light. Yeah, you see things behind. I'm sitting on my couch, agent. The laptop is fixed, guys. I have a screen on my laptop, which means I can do these things from anywhere, which also means that I can edit from anywhere. So you're still going to see a lot, guys. Yes. I always right. Some people are meant to play a supporting role. Mula and Rooney. Oh, Malume Kuto, welcome, welcome, welcome. You have to be slimmer to coach Pirates. The way, the way you guys misunderstood me. The way you guys misunderstood me. It's okay, guys. We'll have the Pirates. We'll have the Pirates chats another time. Pirates and Chiefs and everybody another time as we get closer to the season. Right now, we are looking at Banyana Banyana. So, one of the people that you have to watch is actually the person who was almost injured here, Unokolo. Unox, sometimes he tends to just be a little bit too relaxed, and sometimes that tends to lose us the games. If you think about the games we played versus England, if you think about the games we played as friendlies last time in America, a lot of the time Unox loses the ball unnecessarily, right? A little bit too relaxed. So I want to see what she does, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm very happy. I'm so happy that my captain is back. I'm so happy. Oh, my laptop was broken, Litabo. My laptop was broken. Mula and Rooney, for example, they don't have more space. No. I hear you, Tabiso. But if Mula from a supporting role with Khatlan, so I'm saying Hilda and Tembi are 1A, 1B, right? Tembi is 1A. Hilda is better. I said it, that Hilda is a better supporter to Khatlan. They play together like that, right? Now, I don't want you to say Rooney and Mula when, for B, the Mula is Hilda. And Mula, Roim Toita, is an incredible finisher. That's what I'm saying here. So Uche Main has the talent. Uche Main shows it in Mexico. But for Banyana Banyana, she's up and down in her performances, whereas Hilda and Tembi are usually much more consistent. That's what I'm saying. So whether we like it or not, you can't take away Thomas Muller's numbers and say somebody else was better, let's say, even though the numbers don't say that. This is what I'm saying. And it's not to say that anybody's a bad player. I'm not saying that Jermaine is a bad player. I'm just saying that she's inconsistent. But in terms of scoring, I look at Hilda, I look at Tembi, if that makes sense. This season will start nice, not having Kaizer Chiefs participate. It's fine. Give us a longer while. Other than Spain is playing Belgium. Lol, the Pirates coach seems a bit too vocal. Hey, Malume Kutsa. Nisailu Rulani, but it's fine. Tabizo. Okay. No, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. Guys, leave us alone, guys. Toyota tournament imnandi. We're gonna be playing Asante Kotoko. Reliving the good old days of the Vodacom challenge. Leave us alone, guys. Tina besizenza lezinto. A long time ago. Pirates was with us. Vodacom challenge a long time ago, guys. Leave us alone. It's okay. Play your MTN 8. Play your MTN 8. It's the trophy. 12 minutes in, both teams not really able to find a rhythm here. Banyana Banyana do seem like they are going to be a little bit stronger of a team. I mean, even if you look at the rankings, like I said at the beginning of this thing, Ghana is ranked 66th in the world, 6th in Africa, whereas Banyana Banyana is 54th in the world, 2nd in Africa. So you'd expect Banyana Banyana to be a tad bit stronger than Ghana. The Ghanaian team hasn't been the best at these type of tournaments for a good while. So it's going to be interesting how they play this. Oh, ball, relax. Whenever I think about Ramalepe, I think about the Women's Champions League, the Women's Champions League, when she did that trap at Chitrupas. Guys, leave them. Hilda's a very smart player. Her decision making is always on point. Jane is slowing us down. Yeah, Taendi. The question was, is my captain going to be back to her best? At her best, Urifilwe was the greatest link between that defense and Abolinda. And you could sort of relax. Like, You know how Banyana Banyana, when she's not there, you'd have to play not a little bit closer to Ubian. They're in the center to have sort of like a two, or you'd have to bring Ulinda back. In a prime, Urifilwe was a one-man central midfield who could win the ball, who could play that first pass, who could help out the defense. Maybe it's a tall order to ask her to come back to that. I don't know. But you are seeing that they're leaving her alone quite a bit. But what you are seeing is that we are lacking an outlet, just an outlet pass that we usually have with Tembi. And that's where Tembi does most of the hard work for Banyana Banyana. She's the person who you just play that long ball and just sit back and watch her go. And she'd one man get up the pitch and do something. You know, so that's going to be interesting. I love the bench options because you still have... I want to see Donnelly in this team because I feel like when you're missing that Khatlana presence, the Khatlana pace, you could have Donnelly be a physical presence, a little bit of a physical presence more than Motaung, for example, or even Jermaine herself, and have... and have those two play off of each other. Apologies for that. I don't know what just happened there. Have them play off of each other that way. So you sort of play a target man. Mahupaldinho. Mahupaldinho and how Mahupaldinho plays. Right? Something like that. So that's going to be interesting. It's a new look, Khalifang. It's a new look. Danko. Are we going to miss the X factor of Khatlana? Probably, yes. This is going to be a tough tournament. Jane is good, but she plays way too many safe passes. Yeah, she's no longer, man. Her. You know? SABCsports.com, SABC Sports Facebook page, SABC Plus for free, DSTV stream if you've got logins. Here comes a corner to Ghana. What's interesting is that these are the opportunities that Banyana Banyana usually struggles with, the corners. But the problem is that in Africa, there's not a lot of teams that play the aerial game. So Banyana Banyana, when they go play overseas, they go and face those skyscraper teams. And when it gets tough, they just start lobbing the ball into the box and you watch them shake and whatever. So these are the things that Ucoach has to work on. But I don't think they're going to be exploited here. Look at the positioning. You can't have your goalkeeper alone, lip player. You can't have your goalkeeper alone, lip player. She's being blocked. Oh, wow. Oh, two really bad corners. I don't know why Chwene Murifi is never called up. Oh, Murifi. I'm actually not sure. Missed the combo of Sioposino, Hilda, and Tembi. Yeah, the three. Why is Tembi not? They said personal reasons. They said personal reasons, but there were a lot of issues that were being dealt with. Hey, I don't want to speak on them, but yeah. There's a lot of things. Guys, please remember to tap the screen. I'm looking for 25,000 likes so I can open multi-guest and everybody can jump in and give me a minute of what you're thinking of the game. Taki, grote shoe. Single pivot is killing them, Butlali. Single pivot is killing them. But that's how the European teams want you to play, so you can lose your identity or style of play. But what's crazy, Matlaule, if you watch the game we played versus England, you could tell that South African players are more, long balls over, they still haven't worked on it. They still haven't worked on it. Ghana's going to realize that you just need to pop balls over. Okay, yeah, if you watch the game versus England, you could see that we were knocking it around and we were outplaying England. Okay, that was insane. Lucy Bronze and them were outplaying them. And then they just know that, okay, at some point, you just have to play a couple of high balls into the box, and they struggle to deal with it. So, like, our defenders, mostly Banyana style players, are very good at the ball at their feet. They trust themselves when they play. But when it comes to actual defending versus like strong players, they struggle a little bit with those type of things. Like for example, that corner kick that was taken just now, Uandile is alone with the striker. So if the ball makes it into the box, there's somebody impeding her way. Think about Ben White for Arsenal, what he does in the box when it's corners. He just stands by the goalkeeper and just slows them down just a tad bit. So for me, you can't get height, like you can't just grow height, and you can't take away the experience of the Mamelodi Sundowns ladies players. So now you have to be a little bit street smart. You know, Tina, like when we were coming up that, you know, if you're defending, for example, a corner, don't let the other guy get a run and jump. Rather, uhlale kuye and stop them from being able to just jump up easily or run into power that thing. So even if they touch the ball, it's tough because kono umuntu omela ongiphethe. I can't generate power. Those are the little things that you look for. You get what I mean? Like you then 2v1 somebody so that you stop them from being able to get closer. If you watch a lot of the balls that Banyana concedes when they're playing against European teams, you think to yourself, the ball is dropping inside the small box. Why is nobody at least contesting something there? And it's because simnandi la phansi, but actual defending is tough. Anyway, oh, thank you, Drew. Yo, you can already tell that we're missing Tembi. This is going to be a tough tournament. This one. But we also get to answer the question, what happens when the golden age is done? Because we've ridden these players for the longest time. Linda, Refilwe, Noko, who's not at this tournament, was somebody who for a very long time, Nuku was a striker, one of the top strikers, became a defender. We don't have Abo Van Veek, who obviously fell out even before the last tournament. Abo Tembe are going to move on at some point, and we're going to need to find the new stars. And part of the conversation that maybe we need to start having for Banyana Banyana is to say, unfortunately, Coach Desiree, maybe Abo Coach Tina, Abo Coach Maud, maybe it's time for them to be coming in. Maybe it's time for them to be taking over the reins because they play a more modern football. It's not individualistic, and maybe that's where you need Banyana Banyana to move to. You know, there's a coach whose name I won't say because of the scandal, but they were playing such progressive football at that team. And at some point, you would need to, you know, I guess, improve, you know. A lot of the time we've been riding off of, you know, the individual brilliance of players, all the way from Bonabo Coach Desiree when they were playing, Bopo Shambedise, Abotoki. We've been riding off of them, you know. Abo Nompumelelo Nyandeni, all of those people. I think at some point now you need the guys to step up. And Abu Jermaine are leaving. Jermaine has announced that after this tournament, she's done with international football, for example. So we're going to have to see new blood coming in. And the question is the new blood only going to come in a grounding? Do you need new blood upstairs? Unfortunately, oh, Danko! Oh, no tolo. You don't have that much time. But that was a foul, Ref. Ref, that was a foul. But that's blah, blah, blah. Ghana pressing us. We need to take control of the middle. I don't see us winning, but we will compete. So listen, can I ask you, is it good to play older players? Because we are building a team for the future. I think, Mahlole, it depends on the timing. It's all about timing. If you want to play a younger team, you needed to have played the younger team way before this tournament. They need to have games under their belts. You saw at the under-20 team that there were a lot of people standouts. They were Ludwig and those guys, those players who were standouts that maybe put their hands up. But I don't think you substitute that experience once you get here. right? Like you don't want to experiment in the tournament, which is actually a conversation we should be having about bafana as well, where you ask the question that, okay, Themba Zwane is how old Themba Zwane is, as an example. I'm using him as an example. People say I've got beef with him. At what point do you say, hey, Themba, you know, it's time? Or, hey, we can't keep picking you, right? For example, building up. Do you do that right before an AFCON, right before a World Cup, or do you do it right after when maybe there's a little bit less pressure? You know, this is probably the best time to use your last experienced players, and then going forward, you just change. Now coach team, now coach team, now coach team, UWC. Glad to see them getting roped in. Coach Shorty were there as well. Hey, vamukapile. Why does JVW Sundowns and TS Galaxy have a formula to build a new bafana? They take it seriously. Did Jordaan give them their demands? There was a negotiated outcome that wasn't spoken about as to what's going to happen. So allegedly, SAFA gave them assurances that they were going to be paid at some point. But it's lit, Kwagwa SAFA, guys. I don't know. I haven't checked now, but then Sasol is saying that they don't want to renew. Sasol, 16-year sponsor, is saying they don't want to renew because they are unhappy, allegedly, with how SAFA is spending their money. And it's not just with Banyana Banyana, it also is with the Sasol regional leagues. Are we going to VAR? Yeah. They didn't restart, ne? Madame Kuto, if you could just help me. Madame Kuto. VAR can only jump in if there hasn't been a restart in the game. Okay. So that offside that they called, if they played that ball afterwards, VAR wouldn't be able to intervene. Ne? I wonder what the ref is going to say here. I bet it's inside the box, that thing. Did Jordaan give them no, but you need to let young players to get in so they can settle it. No, 100% Matlaule. But then I think, like I said, I think we've waited too long to introduce new players with these ones because the experienced players are on their last legs, essentially. Ow, penene! Ow, penene! There was no restart there. Yeah, okay, so it still counts. Ow, penene! Keep penene, guys. Banyana Banyana has been given a penene.
Quase guamnandi, e South Africa. Quase guamnandi, e South Africa. Lo putinho
Clear pen, Linda to step up, ice cold, that one. Danko, VAR can intervene on both and penalty goes to the first foul. No, I was talking timing. That's what we were complaining about Mfukeng that other time, that the ball was played on after. So even if VAR wanted to intervene, once a restart has been made, you can't jump in. Here comes Ulinda. Ow! Ow! Yes!
Quase guamnandi, e South Africa. Quase guamnandi, e South Africa. Lo putinho
Oh, guys. No. Linda takes the penalty to put the defending WAFCON champs in the lead. 1-0 after Unonkolo was Vamokapile inside the box for the penalty. Mar to be playing in Europe while we are rotting as fans. We don't see the game the same. We're crying from Bane. whilst he's 33, if I'm not mistaken. Eish. But we also saw how touch and go it was when Juice wasn't there. I think that's the tough part. We saw how touch and go it was when Juice wasn't there. Okay, we've taken a 1-0 lead via penalty. Let's be honest. It hasn't been a great performance in this game. It hasn't been a great performance in this. I think they're noticing. And do you see that ball that was played in? Look at the positioning of the defenders. We just don't care about high balls, to be honest with you. Is it another cooling break? Okay. But so far,
It's not make sure. It's not make sure.
So far, it's not make sure. No, it's not make sure. This performance. It's true, OT Ngezana. When they saw quality here, Rena, we said Kihomo. Marabutale, let's also be honest. He wasn't playing football that's conducive to what he does well here. Sometimes players, man, that's why, another statement I've made that people misunderstood was when I said I don't believe there's such thing as quality players. I think any player can be quality in a system that suits them. So sometimes we have to look at that. Like sometimes you look at the players and you go, is this player suited to the system that is being played? You get what I mean? Like, are we working to make those players look good? A very good example is Yusuf Mart. Yusuf Mart is, I think, an incredible number 8, a more aggressive, positive number 8, because he wins the ball up very high. He usually starts the moves that get us goals on transition. He usually scores the goals. When he scores those goals inside the box there. But then you find him playing 6. And then we turn around and we say, oh, that player's trash. Kanti Mutua as trash. He's just playing in the wrong position. Uchiva Vairo, for example, we may call him a homo or whatever. But how many times did you see a ball get played similar to any of the 17 goals that he scored for Marumo Gallants? How many times did you see those type of balls played to him? You didn't. As we get caught out there, Ghana is realizing that if they can just press us a little bit higher when we play out, that overconfidence that comes from our defense is going to catch them out. Look, physicality. Yes, Amu. There we go. Oh, Tembi would have been gone. Masrame always delivers the penalties. True, Otingezana. Yeah, that's our weakest link. Ghana is slowing the game down, causing fouls, wanting South Africa to restart so they can press us. True. I think I'm still not clear as to how we want to score. Get back into position. It's not time to have an ego. Get back into position, please. Counter. Nazo, 2-0. Ow!
Quase kwamnandi South Africa. Quase kwamnandi South Africa. Lokutia Mosi.
Nangu Jermaine. Aw Shem, hey, kunzima for Ghana. Kunzima for Ghana. You know what I want to play. No, so what am I tuning? Ay, Ghana. Agnabanti la. Let's be honest, Agnabanti la. There's no one home. There's nobody home here. Ball played in by Ramalepe. Finished by Jermaine. Did you see Ramalepe? Remember what I told you when I said that when I think of Ramalepe, I think of Champions League when she did this to put the ball down and then she put a through pass in to Tolagele who passed it back in for a goal. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, there's goals here. There's a lot of goals here. This Ghana team is not quite there, hey? They're not quite of the level. Tembi would have scored 5 by now. Okay, let's see. Nicole is needed in the middle. Ooh, would you play Nicole in the middle? It's like we're playing cones, says Butlale. That pass from Tandy. Mahlole says, I hope we win this game. No, the game is done. The game is done. The game is done. Banyana doesn't lose from here. Here's an interesting thing. While I was speaking about rankings. So in our time, since the last ranking in the time, we've played 4 games, right? We played Zambia number 65. We played Botswana number 153. We played Malawi twice, number 154. Did you know that in the rankings, that actually lost us points? We lost 1.57 points after playing those games. Whereas you look at a Nigeria that played 2 games versus Cameroon, a win and a draw, they actually went up, which tells you how important it is to play better opposition in a rankings perspective. And rankings, unfortunately, still count for so much in football. So that is a very interesting tidbit that I picked up here when we speak about the rankings and playing. Hey, Tina siyasaba, man. Oh, hey, Mzansi is afraid of playing strong teams. Red carpet pass. The game is never done. OT Black Magic. Yegelani. Ghana is shaking. No, there's no one in Ghana. There's no there's no one really stressing us from Ghana. But the issue is also that, Tina, we're not stressing Ghana as much. Like, you see that ball, we should be playing that ball 100 times over by now. We should have played it so many times that they're sick of us. That ball that went through to Jermaine, because Jermaine finally got found as a central player. But I feel like what's happening is that when we're playing the ball up, somebody said it here, we're delaying getting the ball into the more dangerous areas. Because already you can tell that once we reach the final third, there's no pressure when you get into the final third. So we should be doing things like that. They're just showing the replay of that goal. The game is never done. Red carpet passes. Please tell them, keeper, your players watch the person make a run in front of them. I wonder if this is going to be a tournament that ends up with, us waiting for Nigeria, us waiting for Morocco, us waiting for those type of countries. Because we don't have competition elsewhere. And this is meant to be our hardest game of the group is meant to be this Ghana game. 38 minutes in, Banyana Banyana are leading 2-0 versus this Ghanaian team. Play the ball, play it! Oh, wrong ball. Nice idea, wrong ball. Nice idea, wrong ball. Our only tests are going to come in the form of Zambia, Nigeria, and Morocco only. Hey, but also you don't want to be too overconfident because we're not exactly playing with a very strong Banyana team. This team is not the strongest that we've ever fielded. Sure sticks. Hey guys, Stix watches the show, by the way. Andile. For those who are new here, this of course is a watch along. If Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, or Banyana Banyana are in action, we will be watching these games as we are together right now. And then of course the normal show will be back. We are back on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. unless communicated. Please check my statuses, guys, if I can't be on. But that is when the show is normally on. Route 1 sticks mara to who? To who? How are you guys feeling about the game? Just let me know there in the comments. Halftime, remember, I'm going to let 5 people in. We've got that 15 minutes to just speak about what we've seen in the game. So let me know how you feel when you do jump in. To jump in, bottom of your screen, there's a button that says multi-guest. You click on it. It's got a blue figure hugging a pink figure. You click on it, you request, I let you in, and we can have a conversation. Now, I'm looking for 25,000 likes. Then I'll just carry on in the second half. And people will be able to jump in the second half and tell me what they're thinking about the game or anything around Banyana Banyana for a minute or two. We can have a bit of a conversation in the second half. So please tap the screen. It is free. Just tap the screen. Those watching on YouTube, that is how you add your voice to the show. Oh, hey. Don't be reckless. Don't be reckless. Don't be reckless. Don't be reckless, because you will be punished if you are reckless, man. You don't want to become overconfident. 2-0 is a good lead, but it's not the end of it. As we see Asantewa taking a shot there with Stix having to make a diving save to the bottom right-hand corner of her goals. Friday we play Tanzania. Just the normal game, says through true African football. Just get the win, doesn't matter how. That's the problem on the, is that a problem on the world stage? Well, agent, here's a funny thing. We had a similar conversation about Bafana and to a degree Sundowns. My question to everybody then in the comments is, do we sell out our game when playing continental football because it's more physical, because it's more of those type of things? We sell it out. Then when we need to go out to the world, we struggle because, you know, we're not very good at playing that game. So you can't be physical. You can be physical versus Ghana, let's say, or Bafana can be physical versus somebody. And they go and play a team from that side and it's lit. In fact, it might even be the other way around. Bafana has to sell out the beautiful football to go finish third at AFCON, right? But then when they go out into the world, can you, guys, focus. You see what I told you guys about pure defending? They can't pure defend, they're positioning. Even though that should have been offside. But anyway, the positioning. Look, yeah, you think it's offside, but are you chasing your heban? We're only getting helped because Ghana's not that good. You can tell Ghana's not that good. But if this is Nigeria eats us for lunch. Morocco. Kana, who are those ladies? Agent, Kana, who are those ladies from Morocco? Why am I forgetting a name? They played for Rabat 2 years ago. The one went to Sevilla. I'm forgetting her name now. If you catch those people, the mistakes that you make, which is actually another problem maybe we should speak about. You see how they're making mistakes here? Look at what happens when we go play efficient teams. And this is across the board. This is Bafana. This is Sundowns. This Sundowns men, Sundowns ladies. When you play efficient teams, we lose out. Other teams from Soweto must stop signing available players and start signing the players they need. Hey. We're out of office. We're playing just okay, but not playing our best. Yeah. Tagnaoud, yes, Tagnaoud. Tagnaoud, Kana. Where is she now? Wait, Tagnaoud. Fatima Tagnaoud. Is she back at AS FAR? Wasn't she playing for Sevilla or something like that, Sevilla? Yo, Torogunzima, man. Everybody's coming back. Yeah, she was at Sevilla. She's back. Oh, okay. Yo. She's back. She was at Sevilla but didn't play much. Oh, okay. Hey, kushuthi kunzima everywhere, guys. Oh, kunzima. Abo Tembi nabo refilwe, bo AC Milan, bo Atletico Madrid. It means that it's tough there. Being abroad is very difficult as agent. Yeah. New to women's football. Is the ball the same? No, it is. It is the fat man. It is the same. Yeah, no, being abroad must be tough. I thought she would be the one to go overseas and make it. The fact that she's back in Morocco, yo. Man, that sucks. That time about Jermaine, Vale, Mexico, having the time of their lives, even Tembi. Guys, you know that Tembi is the most expensive foreigner transfer out of the NWSL ever. I think she was $10 million or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Like Tembi's the real deal. Oh, sorry, not 10 million. It was in rands, it was that. A million more than any South African male. Yeah, no. Hey, bana sicela impilo. Mina ngiyasaba ngifuna ukukhuluma. Awukhuluma nawe maybe bazokla Asintabi. Okay, so 5 minutes have been added on, obviously because of the water breaks. Please, guys, if you want to speak to me, get ready to jump in so that we can have a conversation about what we're seeing over here. My TikTok updated, so remember that you have to be following me in order to request, but I am taking requests. Please feel free to request. And we'll jump in at halftime and just have a quick conversation for 15 minutes as to where this game is going. Who's making the top of the box run? Who's making the top of the box run? Linda. Oh, Linda, that was for you. How many games did our local players play before heading to camp? They didn't actually play. I think they played 2 friendlies. Did I play 2 friendlies? Can't remember because it was right before they left was the strike. Well, when they arrived, there was the strike, as usual, every time. Because Safa's trash. There we go, refill. There we go. That's all we need you to do. Oh, there's no coordination here. Shem, these Ghanaian players are Shem. Shem, these Ghanaian players. I'm so roundabout to bona man. Shokel, Shigi Shakel. Shushain. Tushayine Banyana Banyana. Let's get 10 goals. Yeah, I was in tab. It's once about correct man. Something about correct but they're having fun, Bonasha.
Yeah. Yeah. They're dancing the ball. It's exciting though.
Exciting though, but we need more goals though. Nox doing so much flair. Get Nox, Nox is sometimes. Then when she plays the bigger teams, she loses the ball so much. So much. Okay, we should be into the last one. Guys, feel free to request. Feel free to request so I can open up for the halftime chit-chat. Remember the World Cup when they wanted to bring her on and she had to go to the bottom? It happens, guys. Okay, halftime. Let me just get my graphics right. Still new to this. I don't know how it's done. Man, agent. Bottom of the screen, press the multi-guest button and I'll let you in and we can have a chat about whatever it is. So bottom of your screen, it's got a pink figure hanging a blue figure. Click on it, I let you in. We have a conversation. Okay, not the most convincing of halves from Banyana Banyana. I think they do look a little bit disjointed. They are missing some of that star power that is granted to you when you have Tembi Khatlana on the pitch. You can tell that she's missing quite a bit. We've often complained about the back four, front six dynamic, whereas it feels a little bit like there's a disconnect between the defensive unit and the attacking people. And I know Urifilwe usually plays that job when she's 100%, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But now you can tell that she's a little bit behind. So we don't really have a link from defense to go forward. And the defenders are pretty much playing amongst themselves while being pressed and being forced to play long. We saw Ustix having to play some balls all the way up to the front without anybody really being there. If we do get the ball up over the halfway line, I think sometimes we delay a little bit too much and there's not enough support coming in, which maybe comes from, I think, the structural lacking between Nokolo and Linda. I don't think they have an understanding of where to go there. I'd love to see Jermaine running a lot more centrally there. I think there's a lot of space to be taken advantage of right in behind the defense, especially with very simple balls. But we're not really playing up there because by the time we get the ball up, they've already closed us down and we don't have an avenue or an outlet when we get up there. But Uchemain showing again, we're literally talking about her during the game, that Uchemain maybe is not the best finisher, but it seems like she's up for this game. And we're going to see quite a bit from her. Would love to see Abo Donnelly coming onto the pitch. I'd love to see a little bit of a change of pace so that we can really take advantage of this Ghana team. I think the Ghana team is showing us that you don't necessarily have to be a really good team in order to cause problems per se, because if they had a little bit more better finishing, better decision making, maybe they're a different team going forward. They did put Banyana Banyana under a little bit of pressure, especially with that press. And then, yeah, Banyana Banyana, like I said, if we can get to the final third, I think things open up quite a bit in the final third. Right, you can see it, Mara. You have to get there. So still, man, we're leaning on individual brilliance that is not quite there. Agent, my brother.
Yeah, but now lonely man.
I can say it, man. Maybe it's because I've been gone for a while. Did it change? I don't know what changed, guys.
We're new to this. You're confused, man. Shalom, my brother.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. The thing is that the reason why I didn't request earlier is I watched the game in half because I'm doing something here. So my analysis are not gonna be as crisp, as usual. Uh, so I thought, people would come in and accompany you.
But it's
But
okay. We'll warm up.
but I was speaking in general. I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of us playing down to the level of
Yeah.
the Bagana also. um, because I've seen us making better passes. I've seen us being more fluid. I've seen us making more passes. We're a bit sluggish. Our touches are a bit off.
Yeah.
Hence I'm asking, is it us playing down to the level of Ghana?
Oh, can I ask you a
Or
different
what?
question? Can I ask you a different question?
Yeah.
What does this say when Jermaine leaves, when Tembi retires, when Refilo retires? Are we ready for that? Because maybe we've been leaning on that individual brilliance for so long that, hi CEO, we're not quite sure where to go with it.
It's something that we discussed actually on the men's team, that the problem with African teams in general is we ride the golden generation until it goes off.
Yeah.
Once the generation is finished completely, that's when you think of restructuring the team and refreshing it, and then that takes another 5-6 years for you to get into the right process. Excuse me. I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think with teams like TS Galaxy, GPWC, and others who I think are becoming more competitive, and obviously Sundowns, I think maybe that process is gonna be fast tracked a bit, And then another thing interesting is weird seeing Ramalep on the wing.
Oh, yeah. Well, man,
Yeah.
she played right wing back nyana in that 3-4-3 alone.
Really, I've always seen him as a fullback. Like, I mean, he has the skill. We're a
Yeah.
bit delayed, or is it my network? It's a bit weird for me, But again, also in the general conversation, because like I said, I can't go into the specifics of the game. Looking at the last WolfCon and the last CAF Champions League, and looking at this team, because these teams are in the top 10, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has the standard dropped?
I don't know. I think what I've always seen with the WAFCONs, with the Champions Leagues and stuff like that is that I think every team has one or two standout players that usually carry the teams. I don't know who Ghana's standout player usually is, but it seems like they don't have that person. And maybe we might be thinking that the standard has dropped, but this is the standard. I mean, if you look at Banyana Banyana, you took out Tembi, and they, maybe it looks a little bit shaky. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where only dita man, and if Timao is in dita or Stanyana, the level is the level. I don't think it's because of the play.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not like horrible, like where we used to be doom that trying to pass the ball and going through the faces, but it's a bit slower than usual. How, again, goes back to the question that I asked in the comments. Is it a case of we are playing the African way because it's AFCON, But then again, when I get enough practice so that on the international stage you look much better, So it's a bit concerning on my side, or maybe it's just the early rounds. Maybe once the standard goes up a bit, maybe it will become better.
Is it time? I feel like I ask this question every single time. Coach Ellis, agent, could that be part of what's happening here? Is it maybe time for her to step aside too?
A great dancer knows when to step down, but yeah, I think not. I think after the next World Cup. When is the next World Cup? I think after that. um, we can think about it, because you look at this Ghana team. I just saw that they just changed the coach also
Yeah.
coming to this. Maybe that also
Yeah.
impacts it, and also um the chosen one is so not chosen now also, you know um yeah. So maybe who's next in the line, so yeah, I think 2027, maybe that could be the last dance for him, for her.
Okay.
I think also that will also correspond with the entire generation being old and retiring. And for a change, it's interesting that he's starting sticks. Very
Ulutwila nje.
interesting.
You can't have Tembi's situation and this situation and then still subject yourself to the Andile situation too.
That's interesting. But then again, last World Cup, didn't play sticks also, and then World Cup he changed. But let
Maybe
me leave
Sticks,
it there.
maybe
Let
Sticks
me
is a
leave it
local
there.
goalkeeper, but it's fine. I want to bring in Ntuli. Tuli, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Uti, I'm good and yourself, man.
Man, ngimnandi uthini ngale game.
Ah,
Ngimnandi kwi-2-0 mara angikho mnandi all the way.
yeah, I know. Game, is scrapping, but it's your typical first game of that tournament.
Yeah.
And then taking into consideration my condition, because according to his commentary, it seems like my conditions are pretty hot in Morocco. So they don't want to push hard because they might end up get tired and then mhlampe Ghana punish here and there. So just reserve energy nje ushaye tibang ushaye goal, and then we'll grow as the tournament iqhubeka yabo. But
Mara
yeah, but now
kunabantu
Ghana.
la. Akunabantu la
Yeah.
abantu le bekumele sibashaye labantu.
No, akapheli igame. Basazovula labantu laba bavumile. It's just that overcrowd isisu, because that's where I think dangerous kakhulu if sidlala kakhulu ibhola in the sense of the park. Because if you are checking formation yabo, they play with five
Yeah.
at the center, and then there's three, I think three at the back and two front. So overcrowdile, so that bezovala ama-spaces yabo. But I feel like asimsebenzisa kakhulu bani uRama. I think
Yeah,
uRama
Oram.
ethole ibhola kakhulu. I think she can be a key player for iBanyana in this
Yeah.
tournament. I know whenever she gets a ball, something happens. Even a goal, like open play goal, it come with it. It feels like abamsebenzisa kakhulu. I'm not sure. Maybe umagama lokhunjani. They always push ibhola la ngezansi
Yeah.
kule side elingapha. But I think we have to use her more. I think she can be a key player for us.
But then could you also say that maybe it's just adapting? Ngoba, as agent said, Oramalepe is usually playing a little bit further back. Uchemain is usually on the right hand side. Maesega is striker. Do you think that maybe it's just we're overreacting? It's just a situation yokuthi kumele bazane, man, in this
Ah, as
new.
as for Rama, if you remember Uma Champions League, she used to play wing back. So I won't say it's a matter of adapting on her case, because she's normally more of an offensive player, especially with Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't comment about the Hollywood, because I don't watch Hollywood that much. Abukela, but the Champions League I normally watch. And then for Jerome, but more check those games. I think there was a game I watched once, just in Mexico, and they were playing, because my South African players, so I have to sacrifice my sleep. I think even there where she plays, wayidlala elokhunjani, wayidlala phambili. So I don't think it's much of an issue yabo. If nje singasort out, singakwazi ukupenetrate labantu, although be overloadile eswini, and then put in a pass. Jerome was runs. Like you saw, even the goal I showed. Let's say it's a yeah, which is Jerome. So which sorry, hey, sorry,
Ngithi
Mr.
ngiyakuyeka mara kade ngithi khulu.
Yeah, but yeah, I always knew Fast and the Furious, Mr. Uti, chance to
Fast and the Furious. Lebza, Fast and the Furious, man.
Gabon, Mr. Uti.
How are you, my brother?
I know, right, man, Kapila. What's about these days? We living a very nice life. We expect wins everywhere. Just was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I saw a South African won World Surfing Championship. The under 20 rugby, they beat England. We won cricket. But Banyana, man, I had my concerns because we got knocked out in the Champions League as Sundowns. And I had my worries that maybe our light is being dimmed a bit. But I know I'm convinced already. In Africa, there's no football, man. Like for the ladies, maybe Morocco and Nigeria and Zambia might come through, but the other teams, I don't see the teams anywhere they pull up their socks. But because as soon as we play against monsters out there in the world, you can see the difference. So
I actually wanted to ask you that. We saw something a little bit similar with Sundowns. We've seen something a little bit similar with Banyana Bastyle, with Banyana Banyana when they went to the World Cup, even though they were really good. Is there, in African football in general, is there a ceiling within the continent, and then there's a huge gap then that our teams have to wrestle with?
I think the challenge is in Africa there aren't enough inter-competitions for the ladies. It's just the Champions League and this AFCON.
And the Leona, it's small. It's smaller, the Champions League, I think.
It's very small. So if there was exposure to playing against each other more often, they would see that gap and they would try to get closer to it. For countries like Morocco and South Africa, where women's football has resources, has a proper league, and it's not necessarily well funded, but the funding is better than anywhere else in these two countries. So
do you think that if we took it more seriously, because like for example, the Hollywood Bet Super League is a semi-professional league. It's really only Sundowns that's fully all the way. If we took it more seriously, knowing that Banyana Banyana is doing this with that, could we see a world-beating African team or world-beating Banyana?
I mean, they would focus 100% on football and not have to worry about where their next bread is going to come from. That would create capacity for them to focus on improving their skills, getting better. And in fact, here we should be dominating effortlessly because most of these teams don't have the kind of resources we have. Where we struggle is with our peers there outside the continent, where teams really give us a hard challenge, as we saw in the World Cup. We held our own, but we could have done better. So I think continent as well, like the more frequent the competitions between the ladies, the better Banyana will become, because it will constant thing to want to improve and be better and dominate absolutely.
I want to speak to you about the tactics of it, Lebza. Do you think that Banyana Banyana might be not falling behind, but might not be up to scratch tactically? Is it still a case that we're letting our individual players carry the load?
I think so. I think so. Like we've and there's no denying that. So I think I don't see a style of play from this coach. I see ladies doing what they do normally, and they finding each other, and they go on about business. So I'm not seeing. Maybe it's just me. I'm unable to read it, but I'm not seeing the style of play here.
Okay, no, Lebza, thank you so much. You know what, guys? I see Tyler here. Let me just quickly before I let Tyler in. Agent, can you give me your score prediction very quickly? If you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know, man, to see how Musa Shon Mikhail, but Hilda, still want to see Hilda. I think I want to see Solgado also, you know. Yeah, and this Donnelly people are talking about. I want to see
I
him,
want to
but
see
yeah,
Donnelly.
see her.
I want to see Donnelly, me.
We will be saying, but yeah, I think those are the subs that personally I think I would make. I think 4-0, man, 4-0.
Okay. Tuli, second half, how do you feel about the game? How's it going to end for you?
So wina la tizoshaya 3 or 2 goals la.
Second half?
Nade. Second half is a win. It's either 5-0 or 4-0. And then for agent le lokhunjana uDonnell hayi ngeke. Abantu bam overhype. We did watch UWC Mr. Uthi sasisonka. Abantu bayicomplimentelile okunye hayi.
Itingakhulumi
Aw.
Itingakhulumi ngoba besibukele sonke itingakhulumi.
Besibukele sonke. Oh.
Lebza, what do you think? Second half score prediction?
Robert 3-0.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be another goal, and then that's about it.
Okay. Let me bring in Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Uti.
How are you, my brother?
I'm sharp, Joe. I'm currently a bit worried ngendlela esidlala ngayo, but maybe it's because I'm expecting too much of performance to Banyana because they've played very well in the previous edition. So far, I'm seeing there was a period in the first half where we were playing too much of a helicopter football. I don't know if you did notice it. We were playing a lot of helicopter football. And so far, like, I feel like the ball is not flowing, and we have a lot of aging players. We have a lot of players, and I'm not convinced that, especially with the under 20, especially a lot of players. I don't know. Maybe it's because like we no longer have those transitioning players. You still remember the squad back when it was super young. The time they lost to, I think it was in Nigeria, on penalties. So right now, like, we don't have the players that are coming in to actually carry on the torch and move the team forward as they did previously. Currently, the only player that I see on the new crop, it's I think it's Sisane, the one who's playing on the left wing. She's very, very, very good. If she can actually work on her finishing, on her final decision making, and I would actually agree with the guy currently on the panel who said, like, he doesn't see like the style of play that we are playing. We are relying too much on individual brilliance as a team. So we are relying on experience of our number 10s, Posane and Hilda on the defense. So actually, it's a bit worrying. But then again, let's look at the things that they are facing currently. It's super hot over there. So maybe there's this thing of like they're trying to conserve energy. They don't want to overrun themselves and be super dehydrated. So there are those other tiny things that maybe we are not looking into. But at the end of the day, like, they are managing the game very well. And this goalkeeper is actually a very good shot stopper. And she's been tested throughout the game. And Swart, we all know, like, at times the mistakes that she makes. And this one, actually, she's been tested throughout this game. And her decision making at the end of the day, it's actually very good. But we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, when they play the next game at night.
Yeah. No. I want to go back to something you mentioned about transitioning. What do you think is causing the transition problems? Do you think that maybe it's also a question I've been asking tonight, that do you think that it's also a coaching transition thing, that maybe now you need the coaches that are knee deep in the Hollywood beds, day in, day out like that, who are actually coaching there, that maybe they have a different view of the players that's a little bit different to Desiree? What do you think that those things are contributing?
I think we should. I think that and more. We need let's say for instance people who will assist Desiree in terms of like identifying like key elements of like our currently aging structure, who can actually manage, who's actually going to manage number 10, who's actually going to manage our scouting division, and also our players, and actually identify the style of play that we are going to play, because currently honestly I don't see the style of play that we want to play. Or maybe it's the element of the thing, you play up to your opponents. There's that element that happens in football. You're only as good as your opponents. So, but then again, I'm actually concerned about I think transitioning it to Banyana. If you can look at the under 20 too, they were not performing very well. The under 17 is not actually also not performing very well. So basically, that transitioning, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe just more on the Hollywood bets, because it's not like something that the ladies are going to say, let's say this is the thing that is going to make me actually focus. I'm going to focus fully on this while other jobs are paying on the other side. So there's a lot OT. There's a lot that needs and also maybe it's because our pool, it's not big enough, a pool of selection. Ladies, like we don't have a lot of ladies who are fully invested, and the local talent, like we don't have like resources, just like the male side of the game. But then again, it's also understandable, like the amount of investment towards the sport and the funding.
Yeah. The final thing I'm going to ask you, what do you think the score is going to be? We still have 35 minutes of this game left. How do you feel it's going to end?
At max, only see one goal. Only see one goal.
Okay.
3-0 will be the final score.
No, Tyler, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, feel free to jump in so that we can have more discussions about this. But right now, we are 55 minutes into the game. Remember, my timer doesn't go. I haven't figured that one out yet. So add 45 to whatever my timer says, and you'll have the exact time that it is right now. So for example, it's saying 10 minutes 46. Add 45, it'll tell you that that's 55 minutes. Now, the second half has been interesting. The first few minutes of the second half, the 10 minutes here that we've watched, in that it looks like Ghana have maybe figured out that space between the defense and the midfield is very big. And if you are noticing, I think Banyana's rushing the transition, in that they win the ball back. The moment they play it into midfield, you watch 4 players run into attacking positions, and you don't have anybody who can come and link play with the midfielder. So that's very interesting. Just a couple of minutes ago, we saw Uchemain Bamkapa. Mkape mover, trying to get her out of this game. So we're going to see how it pans out. But as it stands, it is still 2-0. 2-0 lead by Banyana Banyana over here. So people are saying 3-0. People are saying it's not going to end as interestingly. But guys, I want to continue on this conversation about women's football, because, you know, a lot of the time the narrative is the narrative. The narrative is that it doesn't make money, it's resource heavy, for no reason, all of that stuff. But like, I've been sitting with myself and I've been thinking, you know, if Hollywood Bets League, as a semi-pro league as it is, Cecil Regional has given us so many players over the years without many resources, I think you could actually make a very good exporting business from a women's team. Like, if you look at Abo Refilwe, Abo Tembi, like I said, Tembi was the most expensive transfer for a foreigner out of the NWSL, for example. You look at Abo Jermaine, you look at Abo Hilda, who finally got overseas at some point. Nuku. I think, is Nuku still with Atletico? I'm trying to remember. You could actually make a pretty penny developing women's football. And there's no greater example than if you look at your Chelsea. Chelsea just sold its women's team to itself. Technically, they sold its women's team to itself in order for PSR to look good. The moment they started taking those things seriously, look at how valuable of an asset that is. It actually helped Chelsea make a profit on the books. You know, you look at what's happening with the stadiums. That side, they're full stadiums. We watched Banyana Banyana versus England. You saw how full the stadium was. It felt like a real international game, somewhat competing with with our men's games. Yeah, for example, like even better, right? You look at the NWSL games, you look at the WSL games, where it's, you know, I know of the Arsenal players. We know about Miedema, who's left to go to City, but anyway, Miedema, we know about Beth Mead, we know about all of these different players that are there. The famous what's her name? Is it Lily James? We know about all of these players, and you can see how valuable these things are becoming. Wouldn't you want to invest and possibly reap the benefits years later of taking it seriously? And that is where I look at SAFA and I look at some of the teams and I look at all of that and I'm like, does it? Our football in general, I feel like it's right there, but nobody just wants to, you know, you look at Sundowns. When Tate Motsepe was spending money, it was stupid, right? It was viewed as stupid. Years down the line, it's a Club World Cup team. Who knows the type of offers Sundowns is turning down right now? And if he sells the team, imagine how much he'd make from that, for example. So you sit back and you literally just go a stake in the team. So you sit back and you go, is it just maybe good to, guys, Tina, we don't take this football thing seriously in Jay. Oh, crossbar. Oh, guys, Ghana. Oh, guys, focus, man. Oh, focus. Hey, focus, yes, shy. It looks like Desiree wants to sit back. It all depends on us, Mr. OT. We need to support it so that investors can sponsor. Well, Duli, it goes back to a conversation that we have a lot on the show. Why? Why would I support? And this is not just women's football. This is football in general in South Africa. Why am I supporting? Why must I take my hard-earned money and go and support? And is enough being done by Abu Safa to make it supportable? Guys, most of the country doesn't know that Banyana Banyana are playing in a WAFCON and that Banyana Banyana are the defending champions of WAFCON. Can you imagine the noise that would be made when the Springboks go back to the World Cup? The type of noise. That's how you make people want to watch and want to love these things. Why am I watching it? Why do I care? I get to people said you need to win in order for people to care. Banyana Banyana won. What are we doing? But anyway, that's a topic for an actual show. We're now watching 61 minutes. It seems like the focus is gone. I think Banyana Banyana has taken the foot off the pedal. And what's happening is that Ghana are kind of stepping up a little bit. Now, I'm not sure if it's a situation where you just have to see out what Ghana's doing for 20 minutes and they get tired, or if it's something that Ghana can keep up. But what's happening is that Banyana Banyana are committing a lot of schoolgirl mistakes. These are mistakes that you shouldn't be making, and it's coming from, I think, a little bit of overconfidence from them, right? That was almost a hospital pass. Come, Mamukelang. So the defense again, in the first half, they were very overconfident with playing the ball out from the back without midfield support. So now you're seeing Ghana taking a little bit of a step forward to take advantage of that and really put them under pressure and maybe win back the ball in those areas. You're watching the runs that Ghana are making. And again, if they were just to look up, there's a lot of spaces that are open. Even that one, just a little bit higher and it's a ball through because we're all over the place defensively. So I'm a little bit worried. Not necessarily that Ghana is going to take advantage of it, but more worried that, these are the things that you're meant to be killing right now versus this Ghana team. But are these the mistakes that are just going to creep into the games that we have later on? And again, it's a very similar situation when you speak about Sundowns. Oh, Jermaine. Oh, Jermaine, finish it off, Jermaine. Finish it off, Jermaine. Oh! Ball played through. Jermaine 1v1. Hits it wide. Amo plays in the US. How do you think the issue of PSL clubs losing their statuses can be fixed? I Kopano, we'll have that conversation on another day. I care because I love football in my nation, but to Andile, does Mexico pay good? Yes, Mexico does pay good. We need to also introduce our young girls to sports as a whole. Timiling says competing with the derby. Yeah, in the US, $160 is a lot for a person that lives in Ghana. Nuku was playing for that in Spain team that wears green. Yeah, I forgot what team she's playing for that side. All depends on us, Mr. OT. Looks like Desiree wants to sit back. But the house was sad. Agent, my brother.
This game is reminding me of the Ahly game, versus Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Why is that a tactical switch? Just this minor technical switch. The house of cards collapses. Like difficult at a professional level.
No, but agent, again, do we suffer from first move itis? We just have the first move and then we don't have a plan B as a whole.
I think that's an issue because first time I didn't see the Ghana scoring. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they get something now, And you did say that 2-0 is a dangerous score, because one goal here changes everything, And this Ghana team is playing shame. They've improved, or is it the case of those teams that play against Sundowns? They come out of that shells once they see they have nothing to lose.
Well, okay. Wait, can I ask you a question? Is maybe the difference, and I hate to harp on this, but is it maybe the difference that there's a European on the bench that side?
And then I was like, hey, let me not.
I just want to ask the question. I'm not saying it is. I just want to ask the question.
No,
is it maybe...
I thought of it. It was like, it's the same move that we saw against Inter Miami. Someone, from maybe, a modern day coach knows how to read the game and make the right changes, even structurally. It doesn't always have to be subs per se, just structurally, and then they improve, So I think we have to Ghana for coming out in the second half because I was berating them in the first. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to come on for.
Okay, wait, but agent, how do you? Oh, he's gone. Okay, I wanted to ask, guys in the comments. Let me ask in the comments, how does Banyana Banyana counter this? Because I feel as though there's still, my problem with what's happening here is the gap between the defense and the midfield. And because Ghana has stepped up a little bit, that space is being taken and they don't have the time. But then also you can't get up unless you play that long ball. Agent, how do you counter this? Do you bring an extra person into the defensive side to the defense and midfield pocket? Because Refilo's gone. I don't even think I see her. Linda's doing more of the work right now.
Yeah, no. Refilio is, age also. The legs no longer allow. But for me, I think this is the time because the numbers. This is the time where you need to bypass the midfield. You don't have to play through your defensive faces. All your faces. Just launch it ball out. But then who is there when you launch it long? I said, you need someone like Soldado and others, who can be able to help with long balls. And also, you are right, we need to reinforce the midfield, because they're killing us in midfield. So, yeah.
Okay. No, thank you. Mpoza says the gap in the middle is nothing new. They've always played that way. Long balls would find Tembi. Exactly, Mpoza. Exactly. So that's why I was saying that I love the idea of having Urifilwe back because I think we now realize how important Prime Refilwe was to this team, right? How important she was in the way that she could marshal a midfield by herself, win back the balls and play the balls through. Linda wasn't playing this deep. Linda playing deep is maybe something that has happened in the past 2 or 3 years, to be honest with you. But Linda was not going all the way back to go be a playmaker. Linda was a 10. And now you're seeing her dropping back, but obviously there's no defensive, strength. And normally what you'd call for here is the sub of BANYANA. That's what would usually happen. And I think maybe that's another question we should ask the technical team. Are they out of the moves? We've just watched Ghana make, three subs, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think we've made one. So are we still staring at the sun for too long, waiting for something to change? Or because we don't have the normal cards. You know how you have your normal move. Maybe we don't have our normal move and it's a little bit, King, it's a little bit, there we go. We finally made a change. Finally making a change. Not Amukelang. Mukhulula coming on for Amukelang. Why is Amukelang coming off? Yeah. Okay. Maintaining discipline mid-block, and we need the subs to increase intensity. Tyler, do we need to defend in this game? Why are we mid-blocking? I don't understand why we're mid-blocking. We should be the pressure team, at least until 3-0, no? There we go. Oh. But Poza, I agree with you. That gap in the middle has always been there, which is why I asked the question to the panelists. I was asking the question that, is it a case that Abotembi saved us for so long that we kind of forgot? Like, people used to laugh at me when I'd say we have a back 6 and a front 4 who are independent of each other. You just kick the ball up and Tembi takes care of the rest. And you would see the Sundowns players at the back sort of playing the ball amongst themselves because they're comfortable amongst themselves, but there wouldn't be that connection. Are we just seeing the truth about Tembi, about those players? And it's just that, I guess, fortunately for us, we're just at a level that's higher than what a Ghana is. You get what I mean? And when I spoke about style of play, and I spoke about Coach Desiree, we had an episode of, there's the ball. When I spoke about Coach Desiree and all of that, it's not to say that Coach Des should be moved on and Coach Des is not winning. Even in this game, Coach Des is winning, right? The test becomes when you play against Nigeria. When you play against, remember that game we played Call of Stars? When you play against Nigeria to get into the Olympics, it's a game of consequence. What happens then when you don't have a Tembi to fish you out? Can you bring in a structure that can play? I love watching Banyana Bastyle. I'll say it again. I'm a Banyana Bastylist fan because you watch them go through the phases. You could even tell that something was off. In the last Champions League tournament, you could tell something was off. Manura Bale was playing as a double pivot, and you were like, I don't know what the staff are trying to experiment with here. But the fact that I can even tell you that something is different is something. But here, I can't tell you what's different other than the fact that Utembi ageko. And Utembi is the pressure valve. Get the ball, pop it over the top. She's faster than most of the players. She'll get there first. And once she gets there, we'll see. If she doesn't do her step overs and lose the ball, maybe she'll play the ball somewhere. I mean, even if you look at this, Jermaine is meant to be our main striker, right? So what's also happening is that as soon as we win the ball back and we try to play the ball back out, Jermaine made a turn on the right-hand side of our defense, closer to the screen. She made a turn and made a run. But then when the camera panned over, there were still 2 other players that were standing there waiting for her. So now you're like, even if she wins that duel, there's nobody helping up there. Or she's too far back. Why are we playing too far back? Why are we in a mid block? But anyway, let me read some of these comments. So these are the things, man, that I'm asking questions about. We need to conserve energy. It's hot out there, says Tyler. Where's Khatlana, guys? Personal reasons. You know, that just means Safa did something. We just need to hold the ball, let them come to us and break through. Exactly, Tumele. Banyana had good finishers, but lacked systems. We relied on Andile and the defense. That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, we know they can play. Like, we know UWC can play. The players from there. Coach Tina's there. We know that, you know, a lot of these players are comfortable on the ball. I mean, I can't speak enough about Abu Ramalepe, for example. Oh, wow. Why are we playing it into those areas? What's happening? 73 minutes in, guys. 73 minutes in. Banyana are leading 2-0. This Ghana team has been so wasteful. They've been so wasteful. I understand conserving energy, but you can't conserve with so much risk. Hopefully, the Ghana team runs out of juice. Nabo. Since we're saying it's the heat, let's hope that they've run themselves out of the game. Get there. That was the chance to just at least release some pressure. Oh, Linda. Okay, it's good to see Linda pushing up a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yo, the legs are gone. Coach Tez, make some changes, Coach Tez. Hey, people, they're dead. They're dead out there. I want to see something. They are dead out there. I just want to pull up the bench so that we can see who might be able to come on and do something here. Okay, Mahaya, Donnelly Mtandi, Muhlakwana, Holweni, Mkhulula, Salgado Mhlongo, Swart and Makakula. Yo, wait. Maybe a Holweni, Salgado, Hilda. I don't know. Is Kolosa Binyana injured? Yeah, well, I think she's injured. She's currently one of the analysts on Supersport. So you'll see at the end of this on Supersport, she's with Tato in the studio. Our best team is starting one. Others, it's up to you, Lord. Tembi is not there due to football politics. I know. Look, guys, I don't want to say it. That's the thing. I don't want to say it, guys. They're saying personal reasons. You know when it's personal reasons, Hashem. You know. But how are we feeling, guys? Jump in. Now, you guys are not jumping in. Feel free to jump in. It's open. Multi-guest is open. Let me know how you feel about the game so far. It doesn't look like we're going to get another goal. The only time we're going to get another goal here is probably because Ghana might commit people forward a little bit more, getting more overconfident. But otherwise, I don't see too much changing over here. Mpoza, welcome.
Are you good, my good sir?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. At least it's a lead.
At least it's a lead, and I believe we may be crossing paths on Wednesday. I won't say where.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look, I think the one thing is, if we've watched Banyana over a lot of time, we've always relied on we're going to score in the first half and then defend for all that it's worth.
Yeah.
And then our relief of is we hit a long ball, whatever Tembi can do, if she gets a goal, we're already in the good.
Yeah.
But more than anything, we've always relied on Andile to be able to marshal the defense. Because you remember in the World Cup, Shem Roxy had a very bad goal. I mean, remember even against the European teams in the World Cup and the Olympics, that was always the modus operandi. Because she can get there quicker than anybody else, even if it's halfway across the other side. And that's how, and unfortunately, Des has not shown coaching acumen of saying the bet can be able to impact the game and be able to say she'll go pound for pound with any team. That's always been a modus operandi.
Talk to me about the subs, because something we've spoken about with Banyana Banyana is that I don't remember knowing that, you know, when we make subs, they're going to impact the game. It feels like Renale starting lineup and we will ride the starting lineup until the 85th.
Our best team is the starting 11. Beyond that, if you come on, you fresher legs to defend.
Yeah.
It's not like you coming on to be able to then say you're taking over from Hilda and then you're going to be able to move the ball forward. Even if you were to bring a Zalgado to be able to say, take the ball forward, who's going to be there to support? Because eventually everybody goes, I'm not running past the halfway line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so everybody just sits back. So you're going to be doing you have to outdo how many people? You can't outdo the defense on your own.
Yeah,
And that is always, and because it's worked for us, nobody has ever had to, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Okay, wait, actually, is that the problem with African football as a whole? Because we've seen plenty of dominant teams, whether it be women or men's, that dominate Africa. That are very good in Africa, but when they have to go outside, you see Ureba short about.
Look, I think one of the things that happens is that Europeans are very technical in terms of the basics of football. They do that extremely well. If it's marking space, if this is your position, this is the play where you play. Go look at, even when you watch the EPL, you watch the Bundesliga, you watch La Liga. Who are the skillful players? But if you're looking for people that are going to keep position, if you're looking for people that are going to be able to play in the right segment, then you are looking at the Europeans. But the Africans, we will play with flair, but the discipline and to be able to play in there, that's not ours. And that's where even if you look at my beloved Sundowns, we could do every other thing creatively well, but it got to the final third, we're still trying to be creative. Whereas if you look at them doing the basics right.
Yeah.
So it is that we don't stick to doing the basics right. But when it comes to creative, Baba Sizol Kibela, Silpege, you know, and every other thing.
Okay, I want to ask you unfair questions before Wednesday. How do you fix that? How do you fix that? How do you go to a country and say, hey guys, lento yenu kibeli pola imnandi bad. Oh, there's the goal. There, crossbar. Oh, we're so lucky, guys. Oh, we're so lucky.
God is with us.
Yeah, guys, we can't be doing this against Ghana.
No, but here's my thing. Ne? It is, how do you do it? It is when you then get coaches that believe in that, because go to the stadium. If you want to see that players are doing something wrong, it will tell you on the coach's reaction, on their reaction to whatever has just happened. If a coach does not like it, it means it's not what we worked on. If the coaches approve of what has happened, they will be happy to just watch you and let you go along. I mean, people would say, Uti Duyal Kibel and everything. Jose would watch, and Jose had no problem. But if they did something that was not and that's why most European coaches battle when they come to Africa, especially South Africa, because the expectation is just do the basics right and be able to move forward. Look at the Europeans that came to Sundowns, look at the coaches that came to Chiefs and even Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
Their biggest thing is that the basics, and I mean, look at Pirates under Micho. Pirates was a machine. At that moment, I feared that Pirates more than anything, because we're doing the basics right, moving the ball right, and being able to get into the final. It's just they were going against master classes of the league, most.
Pause for time. I'm gonna jump in. Guys, feel free to jump in. Let's have a conversation. Do you know what's worrying me about Banyana Banyana more than anything else? What's worrying me about Banyana Banyana is, if you've noticed, Ghana are pressing the button. There's a button when Banyana's outplaying you, when Banyana's in the lead, when Banyana's looking good, when everything is failing. You just press the button and you play the ball over. and you play the crosses. That's what Ghana has been doing now. And it's 2 crossbars that have come from that. 2 crossbars. So again, I ask the question, if I know that this is a weakness, and you know that this is a weakness, and the other teams know that this is a weakness, at what point do they sit down and go, guys, we have to become creative. We have to become creative in the way we're going to defend these things that always seem to beat us. You have to now hold your man. You know, stop them from jumping. Position yourself a little bit better. Zonally position or do something. But it can't be that every game that Banyana plays, whether it be versus Sweden or whether it be versus Ghana, they all know that there comes a point where you just play the ball wide and you put the crosses in. It can't, not now, guys.
Chicho, because you are politically correct, let me, the unpolitically correct, say it. We need a new coach who's going to be able to be brave enough to come and implement new different things, because Des has done well. And the one thing that always holds us back in terms of as South Africans, you will hear somebody say, no, this one did this for us in 2022, Chief. We've got 2025 problems now. We don't have 2022 problems. We've got 2025 problems, and Des, as well as she did, she's now becoming out of her depth. Because for how long, and this is why I'm grateful to CAF. For CAF wanting women's football to be there for every team that qualifies for continental football means that the level of the opposition then rises. What's going to happen when we play a Morocco? What's going to happen when we play against a Nigeria? Because this is how we will then lose, because the Nigerian ladies, most of them are playing overseas. The Morocco very clear in terms of what they want to be able to do. These are the ladies that play for Rabat in the Champions League. All those things come into it. So we can be able to say certain ladies have been there, they've got the experience of defending. The Andiles have been in the Champions League. The Lindas have been there. So, but their legs are no longer the same. Fifi, brilliant player, but are they still that young? I mean, can we, over what? We're almost going for a decade with the same group of players.
Okay. 85 minutes in, let me bring in Agent. Agent, we're finally seeing some changes. Donnelly and Hilda are coming on. I don't know what tactically that does, but how do you feel about this game? What did you want to jump in on?
I wanted to say, not to play the devil's advocate, but what if Coach Des is our Hugo Bruce? You know? You may not like what he does, you may not like his tactics, you may not like what, but proofs are here. You know, for all the complaining, for all the crossbars, we're winning. So isn't that what we want, winning? Or are we Sundowns fans who want to win in style with Cannon Shine?
Okay,
even if we lose.
Okay, well, okay, I think for me, it's not these games that worry me. It's that glass ceiling, Agent. You just need to get past that glass ceiling. You know, like...
Wait, Jody.
There's a ceiling.
Sorry, Roti. I have to express my disappointment on a national platform. I'm so disappointed. I see why Me Too Lebza. I see why. I see why they wanted him. I'm disappointed.
You guys
men will always be men. Men will always be men. Yeah. Anyways, you're saying Mr. T.
The glass ceiling. I think we praise coaches that get to the ceiling, but we don't ask them to break through. So I think Coach Des, my only issue is that she's figured out how to get to a certain place, like you're saying. Like he's figured out, okay, I just need to do 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and lean on this and do this and I'll get here. But can we punch through, man?
Well, I would argue he's punching through, you know. I mean, who brought us the WolfCon?
No. I mean, Mara World Cup. World Cup.
Maybe that's the problem, you know, that do we look at our capacity and say, you know, one thing that I love about the Egyptians,
Yeah.
they figured out something that, you know what, instead of going in World Cup, let's rather concentrate our forces and win our AFCONs, win our CAF Champions Leagues and everything, you know. So I think sometimes it's just about understanding the process that we're in. I think the process that we're in, or we are in right now, is let's consolidate our African dominance first. We can't be saying we're one of the best teams in Africa, but we have only a title to our name.
Yeah.
You know, so I think before we dream of being world beaters, let's be African beaters first.
Do you know what it is for me, Ne? Do you know what it is for me? What it is for me is, I remember sitting on Sporty TV and I was telling those Europeans that you guys, let's say be Sundowns, and you're gonna see Sundowns and you're gonna be shocked, ne? And they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
But my disappointment with Sundowns was, Joe, we made the same mistakes. Like, we're making the same mistakes as the Champions League we just watched. Making the same mistake as the finals we played with Pirates. At what point do you stop making those mistakes? You get what I mean? Like, you've got this incredible, I think Banyana Banyana, remember we were here watching Banyana Banyana. We were here sitting with Europeans and not telling them that Banyana Banyana is an incredible team. But for the fact that everybody knows that if you wake up in the morning and Banyana Banyana's beating you, all you have to do is just start crossing. They don't have to be good crosses. They don't have to be pinpoint, but you'll get something. And I'm like, but Coach Tez, that's the only thing you need to fix, Coach Tez. You get what I mean? That's my thing.
You know, it's like when you go to the men's side, you know, we always ask Bruce, can we, what's happening here? Cool. So we always ask, can you change the style of play, you know? And we see Shem, when we try the style of play, it doesn't give us the results that it desires, you know. Hence we always ask, is our style of play a winning style of play or an entertainment style of play? And I think it's the latter, you know. So I think maybe even with Coach Dias, maybe we have to just swallow our expectations and our desires and say, we have to win ugly. Doesn't matter how, we just have to win ugly, you know. Even if we ride our luck like we did today, let it be, you know. And then
I think, Agent, the thing that gets me, man, we're this close, Agent. We're this close. Like, whether you look at it from any perspective. So, for example, we look at Sundowns. Sundowns had Dortmund on the ropes. Like, people are shocked, you know. We look at the World Cup. How many times did Banyana, Italy, Argentina, Sweden, we had them on the ropes? This much was needed. And I feel like this much is the boring stuff, the discipline stuff, the what that Mposa has just spoken about right now, ne? Where you're like, guys, if we fix that, Banyana, I believe, is a semi-finalist of a World Cup. You get what I mean? Like, those Egyptian teams that were so good, Abu Ahmed Hassan and Abu Trek and all of those guys, if you just fix the small, boring little things that nobody wants to speak about in South Africa, I always get slack for those things. Mara, if you fix those things, Sundowns is easily into a semi-final of the Club World Cup right now. You get what I mean? Or whatever, Bafana is wherever Bafana is. That's what grinds my gears, that we're so close. And people have been convinced themselves that we're so far away. Kanti, we're right at the door, Agent.
No, we are. I think
you just need to unlock.
I think one thing that for me, maybe that's why I don't want to do this, but that's why maybe we need a European coach or a North African coach, is when it comes to set pieces, we're not doing anything. Like, I don't even get interested when you have a set piece, you know. And for ladies, it's much easier to score a corner kick. Why aren't we practicing those? Score directly from a corner kick. you know. So and also defending of crosses and set pieces again is still a problem, you know. So yeah, I get with you. I think just yeah, the small parts, but for me, I think in terms of style of play, and I'm content with it, Shem. I've learned to live with it. Sure, sure.
No, thank you, agent. Before I let Ntuli in, one of the frustrating things is that I've seen Donnelly play a few times, and where she's been ineffective has been when they try make her a running striker. Why are we playing Khatlana ball with Donnelly? I don't understand. I wanted Donnelly to come in and maybe become a BANYANA. She's got the stature, the size to maybe hold up a ball a lot better and bring other guys into the game, especially if you're going to bypass the midfield. But now you're making a run. Guys. Tuli.
Hey, Mr. Uti, they say win is a win.
Win is a win is a win.
A good thing is in this group, I think Ghana is the strongest opponent that we will face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a prep for the knockout.
Yeah.
But I still believe we will grow in this tournament. I don't know, I have that feeling. I'm not sure, maybe I'm too optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think because I think Banyana shines when Ukonutin. Because remember that match I think it was against England. The,
Yeah.
the person who made us shine the fight was Ukhatlan. Because everyone else in England was complimenting Uloku number 11. Hey, did number 11.
Yeah.
Now akasekho-ke manje. Ayisekho inika uKhatlana style yabo. But last AFCON, I remember she got injured. I think it was against Botswana or something. And the ladies, they continued the tournament without her, and we won it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. After this game, good thing that the performance wasn't good, ne? Which means there's something to improve conversations abazoba now after this game. So they just need to go to the drawing board. Hopefully there's still space to draw in the drawing board. Konke ayibona Mr. Uthi. Yabona
Sorry. Uyangazi ukuthi kinjani.
Phela wena you are 3 minutes ahead of me.
Sorry.
Mangizoyibona whatever now. But also so buya Mr. Uthi mina angazi noma it's because I support a lot of South Africa a lot, but I believe Uthi will get somewhere. But after seeing in Morocco playing, in Zambia playing, I was also impressed with Algeria.
Yeah.
We need to improve.
Marawa, the reigning champions, Oxalai.
Yeah. As long as ungadlali Swart is fine.
You're gonna do smart. Guys, thank you till full time. Banyana have won their first game 2-0. I want to bring in Mahlatsi to close it for me with the Springboks logo there. Mahlatsi, how do you feel about this game? Welcome.
Joba kunjani?
Man, ngimnandi man.
No ngimnandi, just 2 minutes nyana nje.
Bathi ngesilungu a win is a win.
Yeah, win is a win, but performance-wise, no man, we are leaking, brother. We are leaking. Yeah.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, man. Defense it was a little bit solid. Then inking iqala with striking force. Striking force sethu asikho right man. Ukudlala nge-lonely striker laphana uSiposeng akusebenzeli. Khumbula uSiposeng last ubekadlala as attacking midfielder. Then uKhatlana as a striker. So manje bamdlalisa iposition angajwayele ukuyidlala. So I'm sure bazofix something after these games. We're lacking a lot. Bedlala ne-team weak Ghana, that's why we need. Masingadlala ne-team strong like in Nigeria. We won't make it, brother. And if bazoqhubeka kanje, ngeke semi-final kude kakhulu angiboni isifika lapha.
So vinjobani.
No, let's hope ukuthi improvement izoba khona. We trust to coach, improvement izoba khona.
Okay. Vusi.
But But win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mhlase. Mhlase. Vusi. Oh, Vusi.
Yeah, uyangizwa.
Ngithe maybe usaqaba nge-FNB phela kudala wayigcina.
Ngisayinile uthi ngisayinile ngiright mina.
Hayi sizabona. Uthi ngale game babusana.
Uthi yazi ngipick up some points kule game ukuthi where we lacking.
Yeah.
I think we center back sizonida ulona back but ubongeka Gamede.
Okay.
She needs to play no lona kwi center back against the strong teams. But I understand the coach give everyone a chance, see where they are, maybe fitness, and then we'll take it from there. Fitness is build as the tournament grows. We center back is need ufigile, and then ulona needs to go back to her position. Urama, she needs to go back to the right back. And then I've got a problem there. In my mind, I thought to go to Coach Begazo Niga Ulona also choose Nicole Michaels as Nigi chance Naila Payap because of the absence of Utembi. Because we need that speed. We need that speed.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm not worried because there's a breadwinner also Olala good at position. But next time when we play against the strong opponents, we need the breadwinner to start. But also we need someone to change the game coming from the bench. So siyalekanyana man OT because now ne bulldozer ingibonisele la ngazi ukuthi sale kanjani because good at middle field uyabona ukuthi against the strong opponents, we're going to struggle. Urifilesh is not a holding CDM. We need to.
My bulldozer dala.
No, bulldozer right. Mina ngithanda kabi and inala amapass lawa ya ukurelease ama strikers OT. So you need simisile with that middle field, but against the uMahlatsi ukuthi makethi asindawo hayi sohamba kule tournament ngwabonile lama teams bengwape na iNigeria kusela igama nje OT. It's just a name nje. And what I like, maybe uMahlatsi akawabheki abanyana. What I like with these girls, they've got that confidence. With mabedlala against the strong opponents, they show up. Look at the friendly they played against Zambia. I thought to myself, and that was just a friendly game, and some of the players were sitting on the bench, some of our international players, but they dominated Zambia. I know each tournament is a different ball game, but he must watch ilento le abanyana banyana before ezothi hayi akunala siyakhona si weak. We are not. We are actually stronger than the last time masithatha ilento le because last time masithatha besidlala ngabo abantu asebebadala nje yabo lona abonoko nabo lona Van Veek yabo. But looking at today's game, man, I mean OT, come on, man. This is Ghana, man. You can't say Ghana is weak in OT. Me and you, we know. We watch this women football. But Ghana comes to the party. I don't know if we won game we Olympic qualifier bedlala ne Zambia in Zambia. Yo, these girls showed up. They showed up. They played a very good game. So you can't say they are weak. It's just that maybe they played against a good team. We must also give ourselves a credit, man. How every time Tina Mazdala, no mas winile, we don't give ourselves a credit. No, we played well, man. OT. The results is their counter, and then it's Ilantos we shy, Tanzania's we shy, and then we qualify. So I'm not worried, man.
No, Babusana, thank you so much, guys. We will be here for those games to keep the spirit of what Babusana was saying. Just a reminder. This Banyana Banyana team is unbeaten in open play since 2016 where they played Ghana. 12 games, unbeaten in open play. So we have to give them credit where credit is due. This is a Banyana team that wins. And maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe I am being what other people out, Hugo Bruce with Coach Des. Coach Des wins and Coach Des wins a lot. Banyana Banyana 2-0 winners versus Ghana in their opening game of the WAFCON. A little bit shaky there at the end, but we were able to get the job done a little bit early in order to see everything out. But guys, it's been incredible. I am back. We're going to be live a lot more. The laptop is fixed. You are even able to go to other places in the room. Who knows where we're going to end up next? If you have not followed, please follow. Remember, if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Banyana Banyana are in action, I will be here. We will be watching them live. And then, of course, the normal show on non-match days is on every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. I try to drop my content daily on TikTok, on YouTube, all over the place. So if you could please do me the favor of following, liking, and subscribing all of those places, especially Instagram. And then, of course, don't forget, we've got a show that's called 3-Man Press. It's got its own channel on YouTube. It's got its own TikTok page. Please follow us. It's myself, Lindo Pep, and Utkalefang, Football Utkalefang. We get together and we have some really incredible conversations over there. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, and Onside, Onside the Penta League. On Fridays on MacG's channel. It's myself, PD Jokes, and Des Lees. Please check that out as well. And follow on that side too, the Africa's biggest podcast network, and we're there. So please support, as well as on Omni Audio. Hey guys, man. Guys, it's been great. I'll see you guys then tomorrow, 7 p.m. Bye, everyone.
Adios.